Quick CCW tip, make a gun to grab your gun. So here you can see my gun is unloaded and cleared. So do you remember growing up when we would play cops and robbers, good guys, bad guys, whatever, we would, pretend to hold a gun or pretend to shoot, and we would do this with our hand. We wouldn't do this. This is just, impolite pointing as opposed to pointing our finger gun at someone. But this is how we would pretend to, have a gun in our hand. And so when we go to access our firearm on our body, especially when that firearm is close to our body, whether it's in the waistband, appendix through a 4 o'clock, or outside the waistband, but still close to your body for concealment purposes, you want to remember to make a gun before you go to grab your gun. And obviously this is just my opinion, just my experience, but what I've found is doing so really benefits in multiple ways. So the first one is pretty obvious. When you have your firearm close to your body, getting your thumb in there between your gun and your body can be difficult, right? Especially if you hold that firearm really close and tightly to your body. So if we don't make this gun gesture with our hand and we go to grip the handle, we kind of have to wedge that thumb in between our firearm and our body. So having our thumb up allows us to grip the gun without having to worry about our thumb and still get a good purchase on the firearm in order to remove it from the holster. The other reason is if we try to grip our firearm and we do so successfully, but we don't have the best grip, it's kind of difficult to manage or change your grip once you have your thumb wedged in there. And you're just going to go with what you have, right? So you're at risk of not having a really good grip on your firearm, don't know where your trigger finger is going to end up, and your recoil management is going to suffer. When we put our thumb up, it allows us to, even if we have not an ideal grip when we first grab the gun, it allows us to simply just slide our hand forward in one motion. And that allows us to get as high as we can on the firearm before we actually produce a firearm from our holster. The final benefit, I feel like, is as the higher we are in the firearm, because of that, the more likely we are to be able to have our finger along the frame so that we don't have a negligent discharge as we produce that firearm with our finger hovering around the trigger guard or anywhere close to trigger. So this allows us to grab the firearm as high as we can, which also allows our trigger finger to be safely off the trigger and on the frame. So that's my quick tip. Make a gun to grab a gun. Try it out, dry fire, try it out, obviously with an unloaded firearm, and see how that allows you to get a higher grip, a safer grip, while still producing that firearm from your holster. As always, stay safe and train often.